Next, we're going to do some problem-solving activities so that you get an idea of what you might do in your classroom for small group work, so students have the ability to use the concept of area and perimeter in a real-world concept. In George Polya's 4 Steps to Problem Solving, the first thing to do is to understand the problem. So you read it, you read it, you read it until you get an idea. When the idea comes on how to solve, then that's number 2, where you devise a plan. Then 3, you actually do what it takes to carry out the plan, and then you look back and make sure that you have a reasonable answer. Now, you studied this in Math 231, so you are aware of George Polya's 4 Steps to Problem Solving and all the different ways that you can go about problem solving. You can draw a design, you can make a table, you can work backwards. So all those things that you learned in Math 231 are now going to be still applied in Math 330. As an introduction to problem solving, and also to give students the ability to become familiar with some of the math terms like circumference, this math adventure book, The First Round Table, Circumference in the First Round Table, is a very nice introduction to the problem solving of perimeter and area. What's happening in this book is that there's a table where the king and his knights meet, and if the table is shaped like this, circumference and Radius, the little boy, and Lady Di of Amateur is the wife. Well, they find that there's too much talking down on the end and not everyone's paying attention, so they feel that there is a need for a redesign of that table. So they get the guys together to work on it, and they come up with a new design. It was 5 feet by 20. And now they're going to make it a 10 by 10. And then they redesign it. And they continue to design this table into different shapes until they find what they feel would work best so that they could conference around the table. So they make all different designs. They have an octagon table. And then they find out that creates a problem. They begin to fuss. And then Lady Di of Amateur, see, she's showing the diameter, runs across this log that has been cut. And so then they decide maybe that a round table will be the best design so that everyone has space and able to have conversation and be part of the group. So a nice little book to show about perimeter and area and how it can be useful in its design. You're going to do some activities that come from teaching children mathematics. And this activity has to do with designing a cafeteria. And you can only have this amount of space for the cafeteria. And this is the size of the tables. So the tables have to be squares. And only one person can sit on a side. So you want to design a cafeteria that will seat 32 people. You want to arrange the tables so that you're using the minimum number of tables and you have them spaced where they need to be. And then as an extension, we will decide what's the smallest number of tables required to seat 42 people. So this is a kind of problem solving that you could do in your class. You could give them the space, you could give them squares and have them move them around until they get a design that they like that will seat 32 people. So this is a contest, and the contest winner maybe gets to have lunch with the teacher, something like that. Okay, the next activity that we are going to do that would model a real world situation might be better for a fall activity when you are thinking about covering a pool. But the pool has this shape, and the family wants to make a cover. The fabric costs $5 per square meter. So this time we're buying fabric by the square meter, not by the linear like we did with the backpack. And so you find the area and calculate the amount of cost to purchase the fabric. And then the last is a problem solving that you might see on a standardized test, where you're looking for the area of the shaded region. So what you know is that the circles are all congruent and they all have a radius of 5 centimeters. We know that ABCD is a square. And then from that, you should find the area.